All right, hello everyone. Here we are, Apocalypse Kingmaker. And what I'll typically do on this is, they've been giving us pretty challenging wins for this hole. And the one that they give us today is a little bit easier. So it's going to be favorable for pretty much everybody to get over. You might just have to change the way that you go about doing it. So here you can see my opponent in Titan. Should be close to enough to get over. It's going to be more so, and they made it so easy that you don't even need a lot of curl. So you should be able to do it with this wind with phone curl. So, and you can see here my opponent, you're not going to need a berserker for a POC 5, but no reason you can't get it to happen. Probably need to play it very close to 1 per ring. As I mentioned, full phone curl here should be enough to get you over there. So let's take a look. Here's a perfect ball. It looks pretty good, so let's see how this comes out. So just a little bit too much on the ring adjustment. As I mentioned, that's 5 3/4 topspin more or less. We could try to mimic that shot, but what I'm going to try to do is just a little bit different. I'm going to use more like a POC 6 spin here. And I'll also kind of do the same thing, kind of towards 1 per ring more or less. There's 5 rings, there's 10. There's definitely, downhill nature to this shot. So let's take a look. Great ball to the left. Might just get it just a little bit more aggressive on the left edge. There you can see that it almost hit. But I'm able to get it into the center of the fairway. And what I'm usually going to do, especially in a crosswind, I'm just going to kind of set up for a dunk. This pretty much is the only way that I'm going to play it. You can see the very beginning of that guy's ball guide. This pitch is tough. It's real tough. It's hard when you get the wind straight. So when you get the wind crooked, it's just that much harder. Being in the rough makes it just a tiny bit easier because there's less wind effect. You usually only have to kind of put it on the edge of the cup, maybe just a little bit outside, and you're playing enough wind. However, when you're trying to land on a crooked fairway, it's very, very challenging to make. So you're going to see a lot of people miss this shot. And as I mentioned, one of the ways that I'll usually do is I'll just, set up for the dunk on this. Another thing that I can do, I can lower the, it's a little bit of a tailwind. So if I want to hit it a little bit longer, I can get a Titan on there, or, definitely can use a dead ball as well. So let's just take a look at this. Looks like I'm going to be out towards max club in this situation, which I usually play maybe close to about 10% beyond max. So there's 5 rings right there. So I'm going to make sure that I play pretty close to 12 rings here. So if that's 5, we're going to go 12. Looks pretty good alignment-wise. Just have to make sure that you're relatively, really, really centered. So the great ball's probably going to push me out towards the left of the cup, but had I hit perfect ball, that was in. So as I mentioned, the dunk, especially with perfect ball, it's going to definitely raise the percentage that you can make that shot. Really the only thing I needed with perfect ball. And if I'm in towards min club or mid club, I'm going to be able to great ball that. So the only reason that I had to hit perfect ball because I was right at max. So the closer that I get to the hole, the easier that dunk is going to become. And unless I get up on the fringe, I'm basically dunking. So if I can get up close to the fringe where I can actually use the top spin and use the green, I'm not going to try that shot from that far out. It's just way too hard. You're going to almost always miss it. Where I would have made that had I hit perfect ball, because I wouldn't have had to play any of the bounce. And the bounce is the hardest part because you have to estimate how much the wind is going to take the ball, which, you know, from mid to max club changes. So, you know, it's never a set amount. And it's very, very tough to make that pitch. So, you know, the dunk is the way that I'm going to be doing it. And as I mentioned, you know, especially if I can get that drive a little bit longer. Another thing that I can do, you know, I had enough to topspin that more. Alternatively, like I said, you can just change the dead ball and you can hit a puck 5 shot. So good luck, and I'll see you guys on the next one.